World of Warcraft's new expansion just got leaked. And honestly, I forgot that World of Warcraft is even a thing. With the amount of L's that Blizzard has been taking and making in the past years, I'm sorry, but I have absolutely no hype or hopes for this.
So, turns out I go away for 10 days and absolutely everything happens, including expansion leaks. It's all quite crazy, so let's get stuck into the Warcraft news. Today's sponsor, which is New World. Their first premium expansion, Rise of the Angry Earth, is actually out today.
Wow, a new expansion for one of the most disappointing games in the last 10 years. Okay.
Ton of features, and if, like me, you want
horses,
well, good news, they're actually here. You'll need the base game to play it.
Yeah, it took them only, what, 3 years to figure out that maybe mounts and movement speed matters in games? Yeah.
And until 9 AM October 10th, they are doing 60% off the base games editions, and there's a new bundle of New World and Rise of the Angry Earth for $45.
That's not a good thing. Your first big expansion that's supposed to fix all the issues and make New World great again, and they put it on sale? That's beyond desperate, okay? This smells like Starfield all over again, honestly.
$5.98. You can click my link in the description. Now, this expansion brings a lot. It's on top of a game that's been honed over the last few years, too. They've
honed, yes, but extremely poorly in ways that no one cares about. But honed, yes.
Totally revamped the story. Leveling is quite briskly paced. You can hit level 60 by just doing the main story. Almost all
Okay, so I play New World. Hitting level 60 is the fun part. Everything after level 60, that's the boring part.
All the zones have been revamped. The remaining original ones are getting love in future updates. And essentially what's happened here is the Zone of First Light has...
Do you think they're gonna have more than 5 enemy types in the game now? Could be cool. Imagine entering your 5th zone when you start playing a new character midway and finally encountering your 4th type of enemy mob. That, honestly, mind-blowing.
Fall into the angry earth, waking beast lords and ravaging the land, turning it into the Elysian wilds. You've got customizable, dyeable horses, lions, and dire wolf.
It's microtransactions. This is gonna be mostly microtransactions. If you want your horse to not look like a hobo, congratulations. You probably need to dish out a little bit of that ka-ching in the microtransaction store.
Mounts that can have custom skins as a part of this, which lets you travel the world faster.
See, custom
They've
skins.
added in the flail as a new weapon type, and of course along the hierarchy.
Admittedly, I have to say, the flail does look good. The flail does look interesting and cool.
Cap. There are more trade skills, recipes, reagents, artifact quality gear, new story, and all that will come with Season 3. There's actually a lot, and they've worked with content creators to make a returning player guide. So, what you should do is hit up my link down below to let them know that I sent you. With that said,
I think New World is one of those rare games that doesn't really need too much of a new player guide. Honestly, that's one of the rare things that New World did well. At no point playing this game, I was thinking to myself, am I in the right place? Should I be here or should I not be here?
Let's get stuck in. We knew that Chris Matson was back, now we've heard that he's even more back. And
oh boy.
I suppose this is also something I can...
The Savior has returned.
Can be a bit tastefully leaky about, because I've heard certain things. Matson now is the executive creative director on Warcraft. It's a full-time role. Ian and Holly have very recently spoke to the press about all this being very good. He's the father of Warcraft in a way, voice of Thrall, and unlike his last stint at Blizzard, well...
He's also the guy that completely ruined Thrall, by the way.
He's working on the Warcraft franchise only. He's not having to split his time between Diablo, StarCraft, and Titan, which then turned into Overwatch. Now, basically, the whole...
Well, yeah, he doesn't have to split his time because Overwatch is dead, Diablo is dead, and StarCraft is also dead. Yeah. There's not a lot of time investment he probably would have to even do in those games if he even tried to.
Point of this, as said by either Ian or Holly, I think it was in the same interview, is that they've pretty much ran out of Warcraft 3 stuff, and when they make new stuff, they've got to make sure it actually feels like Warcraft. So I suppose, who knows, maybe Shadow...
Well, they have failed that pretty epically in the past couple of years, I think.
Shadowlands was them trying to squeeze the very last drops of juice out of Warcraft.
No, the Shadowlands completely retconned most of the story and made the Jailer into this ultra giga Machiavellian type of character that has done everything, and everything is a part of his game, and he completely 100% autistically drops the ball at every chance he gets to actually just get rid of his problems. Yeah. That's the Jailer. Also, am I the only one who absolutely hates the stupid idea that, oh, they're all machines? I really, really dislike the idea that pretty much everything in the Warcraft universe turns out to be a machine at the very end. That's kind of stupid and lame.
Warcraft 3's pulp. Now, this is where I can talk with, you know, a little bit of knowledge of things that I've heard on the grapevine. A bit of a TLDR, yeah, things are kind of changing in a bit of a direction. And I think it's in a direction that will be better. I kind of can't really say too much because things would become rather obvious, but I've just heard things in private. One of the really hilarious ones that I have mentioned before, but I've since heard again, is some people being, you know, grrr, old man back angry, which... is really stupid if that's really the way that they're...
So, one of the interesting things about Chris Matson is he's the guy who kind of made World of Warcraft an actual, not 5-year-old child's fantasy game, okay? But the now problem with Blizzard is the fact that pretty much every role at every level is filled with people with purple hair and who have the mental capacities of 5-year-old children. So... how is this gonna work when some dude who actually wants to put in blood and gore and all of that good stuff into the game clashes with those people? Yeah, it's probably not gonna go well. Probably not gonna be exactly according to plan.
They're taking this. Because if we looked at the recent narrative status quo and saw that it was delivering amazing results, well, yeah, maybe we wouldn't need a new change in direction. But you know, the narrative has been a bit of a hot mess. And look, Dragonflight is systemically better than when it came before, absolutely. It's got lots of great content. It's even got...
God, I love Dragonflight so much. So you see these big things? They're called dragons. They're super pompous, arrogant, and whatnot. And now you're just riding them like they're some kind of barn animals. You understand all of them can talk and they're smart and extremely prideful. Bruh, if you try to get on one without permission, they're probably eating you alive. But you know, that I think we can ignore that part, right? Because dragon riding. By the way, dragon riding is literally a system 100%. Step for step ripped up of Guild Wars 2.
Some great narrative bits, right? Some great stories that can happen. But, well, number one, they're a little bit of a mess in terms of their macro narrative design. This is the biggest big picture. And a lot of them are kind of diverging away from the sorts of stories that maybe, you know, happened in Warcraft 3 that sort of got the franchise to where it is. Overall, then, I think it's good news. It's kind of hard having, you know, tea that I can't spill, but it is what it is. I don't think those details would serve any form of good. But the core point is there's teeth to the whole Matson situation, that there is actually seemingly some real change coming out of that, rather than, I suppose, some people's fear, which was they were saying, all right, Boomer, come back, you'll be useful for marketing. Seems it's actually not.
Nah, it's gonna end up like that.
Next expansion then, right, TLDR, Tally is a streamer for World of Warcraft. He's been streaming WoW for ages, since the day...
Holy shit, he actually looks good. Look at that. I remember seeing Tally like last time 10 years ago or something. Wow. He's looking pretty good. He's looking pretty good, not gonna lie. Wow, good for him. Wow. Impressed.
days of Justin TV. He knows a whole bunch of WoW devs IRL, and he can certainly be a bit loose-lipped. Now, there's a clip. The clip is deleted, but this is the internet and things do not stay deleted. What he says is, everyone keeps talking about the South Seas expansion.
True.
I keep telling y'all are thinking too much above the sea. You guys are thinking too much above the sea. I said it 2 weeks ago. You're thinking water where you should be thinking somewhere else. I mean, that's all I gotta say.
Okay, so what? Land? Land under the sea? Land above the sea? Man, that's very cryptic. Wow.
Why did that clip get deleted then? Did he fly too close to the sun? It's the sort of thing in games. We tend to operate like as an industry in a thing that's called a friend DA. It's not an NDA, but there's a common understanding that, you know, you'll respect the confidentiality of things that you hear. Of course, I'm joking around, some wink, wink, nudge, nudge can be fine, but this is a little bit more than that. It certainly can inform us of things, and you'll see a little more why in a bit. Now, what sword? I'm glad you asked, because well...
Didn't they remove that sword? Didn't it just magically disappear at some point? I heard something about it just magically disappearing at one point. It was there, and then it was like, bam, magic, not there anymore. Why, yeah, it was kind of lame.
He tweeted a picture of a cave, saying that it's somewhere he'd like to visit. Dude, just go to Iceland. Anyway. Soul then commented, saying, the sword is bound to clap some stuff around Silithus, revealing what's below, to which Tally said, I mean... Yeah, so, sus. He also tweeted a rock, a bug, and a kobold. All seems kind of underground. Perhaps it's all an elaborate ruse, perhaps not, because, well, Blizzard actually made a pretty damn big mistake. Heroic Edition, Algarian Storm Rider. Yeah, that just cropped up on a database.
No idea what that
with a
is.
few other things. Loads of them are Warcraft Rumble tie-in toys. There's the Ysurgle the Dream Merc, which is almost certainly going to be our BlizzCon pet for this year, amongst a bunch of other promotional items. Now, Algarian. Do you remember Kazalgar that was found in the records that we came upon when we went to Ulduman at the start of this expansion?
No.
TLDR, right? A bunch of Earthen went into a fissure after the whole Curse of Flesh thing. There's just a Dwarven society that called it Kazalgar, which was quite interesting because it was called Kazalgar, even though they'd never seen or spoke to any other dwarves, meaning that this whole naming scheme thing just and culture.
Has anyone noticed how World of Warcraft is like, okay, we need to add new things, we need to add new games. So what are we gonna do? Ah yes, this big earthquake happens and suddenly this magical shield bubble pops and turns out there's a new continent here. Okay. How about this? The next one. This magical earthquake happens and suddenly that opens up a, thing in the wall and there's a whole city there. Okay. How about this? There's this earthquake that magically happens. Azeroth at this point is the most densely populated place in existence, okay? Because under every grain of sand, there's probably a cavern with a bunch of a civilization that you have never seen before, never heard before, but they have a really good explanation how they're the descendants of someone you know very, very well in the lore, and just everyone forgot about them, you know? How many things hidden in this world there are? A lot, it seems like. Admittedly, I will say this, beats going to different planets at this point.
I suppose just kind of developed separately, independently, in different places. Of course, their land is in a fissure, so that would be underground, which is kind of what Towley spoke about. I mean, underground, elements, dwarves, real-life Thrall returning. A lot of things being thrown into this story blender, so expect a deep dive video very soon. Probably tomorrow. I've almost finished writing it, I just need to go and record it. Right as we heard the Matson news, the Hearthstone team experienced some layoffs. Per Blizzard, quote, organizational changes were made to the Hearthstone team, and as a result, a small number of roles have become redundant. So what's the reasonable take here? Well, look, Hearthstone is not really making money, right? It's smaller. It's been on the decline for years, it appears anyway. It of course had...
Yeah, turns out people are not exactly taking super kindly to the fact that Hearthstone is, you know, kind of turning into the game that your 2-year-old is supposed to be playing, not, you know, anyone else. And it's all a bunch of joke cartoons, and it's pretty fucking lame.
Its new mode failed so hard it was like removed, and that mode was a blatant attempt to, well, try to recapture the big win that was the Battlegrounds mode, but in a version that would be, you know, quite a bit more monetizable. So that didn't really work out well. And they've got very desperate in their mission for monetization, right?
Also, I'm pretty sure ChatGPT can take over the development for Hearthstone at this point. I really honestly think probably with all the information ChatGPT can acquire about Hearthstone, I think it can do a really good job designing Hearthstone cards at this point. I really, really think so. I'm not joking. Hearthstone has become so formulaic and absolutely without question redundant that probably ChatGPT can just make 20 expansions in 10 minutes for this game.
We keep on talking about these insane little Hearthstone deals and promos and stupidly expensive like cosmetic cards that they sell. So look, in light of this, yes, that team is getting reorganized. Does this mean that Hearthstone is going into maintenance mode, going the way of Heroes of the Storm? I don't know. I suppose I wouldn't be too surprised. Now, per Kotaku, this has impacted around 10 people, so it's not the most humongous thing, right? But yeah, look, it is what it is. Is the game making money? Is the game losing money? What is the state of the game? It's kind of hard to tell. At least culturally, it doesn't seem
Dude,
like...
how can you be so stupid to think that Hearthstone is losing money?
Hearthstone really makes a dent anymore. What do you think? Okay, Timewalking is active. It will be back-to-back for the next 6 weeks, with a special reward being there for partaking in 5 weeks to the max. So, Cataclysm Timewalking is active right now, then it will be the Burning Crusade, then Legion, then Mop, and...
Classic, yet fantastic Blizzard fear of missing out things. Hey, you need to participate everything here to get some kind of special stupid reward. Oh boy, man. You gotta appreciate Blizzard's scummy tactics.
Finally, Wrath. The level requirements for these have been reduced, by the way. You can check out this video for our very big leveling guide, which is even more relevant now that it is Turbulent Time-wise. But do remember, you will need to be out of the Chromie time like mode to queue for Time Walking for some bizarre reason. Now, the weekly quest for Time Walking at max level will...
Because obviously, if you're in that mode, you're not loading every other player's bank that you see in your party. So... without that, obviously, it can't function. You need to load every player's stash, bank, and character. Yeah, that's how it works.
Drop heroic raid gear, and there's a buff that will stack up to 30% XP when you're doing Timewalking Dungeons, and that will refresh to a 3-hour duration every time that you do clear a dungeon.
Oh no!
If you max that buff 5 weeks in a row, you will get this mount. Of course,
Oh no! You know, the fact that, honestly, doing quests in World of Warcraft is not that bad. You get to see different locations, you know, stuff like that. It's kind of interesting. You know, the pacing is pretty good. But honestly, Dungeon Finder currently just kind of absolutely just obliterates it. Because you're finding a dungeon group in 3 minutes or 5 minutes on average, right, or something like that. And it's like, okay, what can I do in 3 or 5 minutes in the overworld? Nothing, not really anything. So I might as well just AFK until my next dungeon. It's lame. The dungeon queues have completely destroyed the leveling experience and new player enjoyment, I think, in this game at this point.
Walking is already absurdly quick for leveling. This makes it even more fast. Roll this buff into, say, a Dream Surge zone with the XP buff and War Mode on, and yeah, you'll just be level 70 magically. You also, by the way, get 50% rep for the active expansion during these time-walking weeks. That means it's a great time for getting loads of mounts, seeing loads of great content, checking out perhaps Netherwing, Sketis, Order of the Cloud Serpent from Mr. Pandaria. A whole lot to do. One of Azeroth's best holidays is back. Brewfest is up until October 6th, and defeating Corrin has got a chance of dropping this dragon riding customization. Now, you can also catch the Brewfest speeches at 6:15 AM and PM Pacific Time, or 2:15 AM and PM British Standard Time, and if you do that, you'll get a 10% XP buff that lasts for 2 hours. We've also, this is a pretty cool thing actually, got a major new source of event currencies, and that is bar tab barrels. These are found across 12 taverns in the Dragon Isles, and they get you 10 tokens each. Basically, it's 120 tokens for a quick fly around the Isles, and you can do this once per character. And that actually means that in a few days, your alt army can hoover up loads of Brewfest rewards. But next, drama. Wake up one day and a great looking item that costs 50 grand is available for only 2 days. That is the Pirates Day situation for many. Now, to many players of WoW, 50 grand is absolutely nothing. It's barely any gold. But to some, it's either a lot of gold or it's gold that they do not have and weren't really warned that they would want to farm, and they don't have the time to farm it on such a short notice because the item's gone.
WoW token. Buy the WoW token. Buy the fucking WoW token, you absolute animal. Buy it now! Buy the WoW token! Also, people who have too much gold are taking it away because you probably bought it through non-WoW token means. How dare you?
So quickly. So, what is it? The Doomer, of course, says that this is a cynical attempt to juice WoW token sales with a brisk FOMO reward.
I mean, that's not the Doomer take. That's the objective reality 120% factual take. What do you fucking mean, Doomer take? If your take is anything other than that, oh my sweet poor summer child, how inexperienced you are.
The not Doomer says that this is just a new feature added to Pirates Day, which has always been a time-limited event in World of Warcraft, and this will be a part of Pirates Day, every Pirates Day, meaning that it's just...
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna say, tell that to you about the next event that requires you to buy a WoW token to complete.
A new reward that they added this time around. Obviously, though, when it is the next expansion, a dragon riding customization won't be as wanted by people. Anyway, to be honest with you, I think that it's the latter, or at the very least, this is just an oversight and something they didn't really think about, even though to many people the look of, hey, you have 2 days to cough up 50 grand, to a lot of people that did look like quite a bad thing. Obviously, 50 grand is not that much gold in World of Warcraft, but if you're pretty much floating around zero and you really need stuff for your raid mats or whatever, to a player who's not really familiar with lots of gold making techniques, it might be tricky to see how they could make that money appear. And for Blizzard, there's an easy learning here. Basically, right, find a Doomer, go onto 4chan or Twitter, anywhere, just find a Doomer, lock them up in your basement, and then give them everything that you plan to do, and see whatever they say. And that way, you'll never be caught off guard again. Seriously though, just doing a quick PSA saying, hey, there's a cool new reward. It's going to cost 50,000 gold. There you go. Doing that even a week before certainly would have removed the Doomer take. I've got some lore, I'll do it pretty quick. A spell called the Great Dragons mentions the current aspects and...
Mommy Alexstrasza, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares, no one cares. Wait, where's the green mommy dragon that everyone wants to stick their pee-pee in? Yes, sir. I don't see her. What's happening here? I guess Alexstrasza is fine on her own.
Viramoth receiving the blessing of a Mirdrasil. Of course, Viramoth being a kind of primal aspect is basically confirmed by this, and if Blizzard wanted a nice visual and an Elune tie-in, they would have this happen during the Embrace, which is a celestial event where Azeroth's two moons, the White Lady and the Blue Child, are in conjunction with each other. And finally, visage forms that have glowing eyes have been found, which basically would be undoing the turning off of the light switch that happened with all the dragon's eyes in a...
Bruh. I'll just remind everyone that this thing right here, this piece of rocks, is a dragon. Yeah, it's a dragon. And this is not just any rocks, this is cold rocks, okay? Also, she's completely just misunderstood. But her brother, nah, he's not misunderstood, he's just evil. But she's misunderstood, okay? Obviously, the woman can't do any wrong in World of Warcraft.
All the dragon's eyes in a pretty cheesy moment after Deathwing kicked the bucket in Cataclysm. Now, does this mean that Mirdrasil will return their original aspectral...
Oh yeah, this is like the 15th world tree. Yep. Yep. The 15th world tree that magically exists, but no one had any clue it exists. Man, they fucking grow like... Dude, it's like, does everyone get a world tree now? Kind of stupid.
Powers from the Titans, or is this a new type of power they're getting? Or if Mirdrasil is truly Azeroth, does it like activate the Mother Oathstone? Maybe that means the Oathstone actually does something. You know, like maybe channel the power of the Titans to Azeroth or something. I don't know. Oathstones, what do they mean? Next, though, let's talk about some gameplay. Alright, some immediate gameplay stuff. Hunters, you're finally getting your raid buff back, but it's not exactly the one that many of you will have wanted. Most people just wanted something that would get them picked.
More changes based on zero gameplay, but just an Excel spreadsheet. Great. Yeah, this is what everyone wanted. I wonder which class got a needleless buff this time.
Right? What they got was Hunter's Mark increasing all damage a target takes by 5% while above 80% health, but it's on the global cooldown, and that means you can't weave it through your rotation seamlessly, which just means it'll be rather annoying. It's also not as good as what a Demon Hunter or a Monk gets, which just leaves many people wondering why True Shot Aura, a raid-wide attack power increase, isn't just added to the game. I imagine Blizzard will say, it doesn't really make that much sense. You know, why is a Hunter giving everyone attack power? At least Hunter's Mark is a bit more flavorful. Maybe that's what they say. I don't know. I haven't talked to them. What do you think, though? I mean, certainly, this doesn't matter too much to me. I'm not going to be lured back to my old main unless there's maybe a revamp because Priest and Paladin are too fun right now. Season 3 really does represent a lot of change. We're kind of going from win to win with gearing this season because not only is the Revival Catalyst becoming available in week 1 of Season 3, it's now been confirmed that the Season 3 Master achievement will return, as well as the Omni tokens from Farak. And with all of these things combined, it basically means the players will be able to get their 2 and 3 pieces in absolutely no time for tier. And it's an interesting thing, getting that.
Yeah, that's really great. Getting rewards without deserving them. That must feel absolutely amazing. I'm sure everyone's gonna be happy with the fact that they just get force-fed items that they want for absolutely no work. And they're gonna feel real good about those items. And they're gonna care about those items. And those items are not gonna be replaced with the next dungeon tier. Yeah, I'm sure that's going to happen.
That power is exciting, but as a game system, this is more focused on solving a player's need and addressing fairness in a world where social factors, to suppose get a raid spot or have a certain level of power in your character, exist. So, how do you think then about motivational excitement existing in gearing? Without returning to, you know, Titan Fortune craziness, right? This is not me being like rhetorical. I'm genuinely curious because what happens if you polish out all the little bits of roughness? Are you going to be left with a perfect diamond, or will you be left wanting a little bit more? I wonder. How has gearing made you feel? Next, though, something pretty neat. The item level of all.
You know, there's this interesting movie called The Matrix. And it's a movie, not the thing that Andrew Tate talks about. It's a movie, okay? I know some of you are too young to understand that, but there's this movie called The Matrix. And you know one of the interesting things that it proposes? Well, when you see the movie The Matrix, you don't see the first iteration of The Matrix, nor the second one. And you know why that is? Because the machines, at the start, when they built the Matrix, they just created a utopia. Perfection. No struggle, no nothing. Everything was free. Everything was granted for you just as it is. And the story is that the people of the Matrix absolutely rejected this world. And I think that's very accurate. For example, in my life, when everything is going smoothly, when everything's just rolling off, when I don't need to work too hard to achieve anything, when I have nothing to look forward, when I have everything currently that I desire, I'm not happy. I'm pretty miserable. The challenge matters. Your work to achieve something matters. So, Blizzard constantly, expansion after expansion, just giving you all of these things for free. How do they not see that that's not working? How do they not see that people want to be rewarded for the things they do? And they earn to acquire said reward. Not just get things handed to them like some kind of lost puppy. How did they not see it after all this time?
All Outer World content is being increased with Season 3, essentially making activities from prior content actually matter. This includes things like Researchers Under Fire, Time Rifts, Dream Surges, and much of the 10.0 launch events, like the Grand Hunts and the Siege on Dragonbane Keep. Now, for some reason, the Community Feast is not listed, which is kind of odd. It's actually, right now, after a bunch of changes, vastly more fun than it was at launch. Like, you actually get tasks consistently, you feel like you're actually helping, it's way better. So basically, it's all just going to be more relevant via dropping better gear. This should significantly reduce one of the feelings that you do get in Season 2, where you kind of log in, you're like, right, I've done the 2 or 3 weekly things in the world. It's pleb gear from here on out. I no longer care. Oh dear, why am I on my character? And then somebody logs off.
Yep.
I assume that's what they're trying to solve there. What else then?
Yeah, and they're solving it by giving you less things to strive for. Nice. You see, this is the reason why, by the way, heritage gear, or whatever it was called when in Vrat, when they gave you the super duper ultra strong leveling gear, there's a reason why that failed and people didn't like it. Because you never found anything to replace it with. There was not a single item stronger than the leveling gear. Guess what? People don't like it. One-shotting things? Kind of fucking boring. Who would have expected?
Well, there's a pretty insane number of cosmetics that have been data mined. Loads of Dwarf Cosmetics, which is certainly suspicious given Kazalgar. We've got terrarium back pieces, which, I don't know, make me feel kind of undergroundy. We've got other stuff, though. Dreadlord gear. We've got Scarlet Zealot stuff for 200 tenders. Winter's Veil Cosmetics, 10.2 Cosmetics. The Glory of the Dream Mount. Wildhammer Dwarf headgear, which is a pretty damn big win, actually. Also, Crusader Helms, Demon Bikes, because I guess they're pretty metal, why not? Scarab gear, Dwarf Axes, Storm Hammers. The data mine stuff from the next expansion is the Storm Rider, I believe. So I don't know, Storm Hammers, like, yeah, it's a Wildhammer Dwarf thing, but you do have to wonder. Anyway, it's a lot, and again, if your lore head was not just tickled a little bit by all of this dwarf stuff, don't worry, mine was too, and we will chat about it tomorrow. PvP then! Yeah, you poor bastards, you're—
Oh boy, the dead thing in World of Warcraft PvP. Wow, this is gonna be exciting.
We're not getting any new content, don't worry about that.
Obviously.
You will have to wait, probably a calendar year to get solo queue-rated Battlegrounds into the game properly, but at least for right now.
And when they come, they're gonna suck. Obviously.
You are getting the ability to transfer honor points between your characters, albeit with a rather steep tax, and you're also getting the Battle Mender title that's been added for winning 50 solo shuffle matches at or above Rival 1. Of course, healer supply is one of the issues with solo shuffle queues, making them brutal for DPS players. I don't imagine this will be enough to really make a dent, but yeah, I suppose it's cool. And really, that's the lion's share of what's been going on. Of course, since the Algarian Storm Rider thing happened. We now have a whole fresh wave of leaks on MMO Champion that I think we're all using. The, the Tally Underground stuff, the Algarian thing. They're just kind of using those to create more and more plausible looking leaks, which is how the cycle will naturally go. And I suppose the long tradition of Blizzard accidentally leaking the next expansion in a small way is continuing. I mean, do you remember when we were looking at the data mining for the...
Hot mom and daughter hot
Argus patch, and
yeah, don't care about that part.
Guess what happened? We saw some Kultiran stuff, and we're like, I wonder why we're...
I also don't get this. Blizzard is intentionally, obviously, leaking all of their shit constantly. Why? Why? Oh, did you hear about World of Warcraft's new leak thing? Oh, which one of the 20 leaks that they gave us this time? Leaking this stuff is so stupid and annoying and boring. It takes all the fun out of the expansion because you already know everything the expansion is gonna be about, okay? Remember when you heard about World of Warcraft Cataclysm, though? You were kind of excited because, what do you mean, Cataclysm? What's happening? What's going on? And now it's like, oh, did you hear about World of Warcraft expansion? There's going to be this, that, and that. 1 year before it pretty much even launches. It's so stupid. How does Blizzard just keep making the same mistakes over and over and over and over again? Did they not play Far Cry 3? Do they not know the definition of insanity?
Why is this here? And obviously, the next expansion is BFA, which involves Kultiras. And I do bring actually that up for
disgusting.
A point, because yes, we have seen something that says Kazalgar, but one zone is not an expansion. One group of people within an expansion is not the entire expansion. There is still, you know, the vast majority that we do not know. Finally, though, there is one thing that I saw in one leak which I would like to bring up. And I don't know if this is hopium or whatever, but the leak basically said, we're going to the Voidlands. Now, immediately you might think, oh god, no, not another cosmic plane. I don't want to go to Zereth Umbra to fight the firstest before ones. Well,
you're gonna
I have a bit of a think, because remember how for the longest time you said, hey,
man, you killed the god of death, then you killed the god of death. Now you have defeated the god of death. Bruh, don't think it's just fitting that you defeat the god of death? I think that's very on point, honestly.
Hey, we can't do the Emerald Dream. I mean, it would just be a big green field for a whole expansion. Well, what if they've kind of thought, hang on a second, right, we do have all of this void stuff and light stuff and everything that we do have to pay off, and there technically might be a reason to go to the Voidlands, but oh dear, I don't think that would be a good, you know, entire expansion. Maybe we couldn't do it right. Well, the leak, you know, the story that somebody made up, in all likelihood, says that the Voidlands will actually be a sort of final patch, a little bit like Argus, so like a really big major content
Oh boy,
patch.
yeah, like Argus, yeah, I'm sure people are so excited about that idea.
If that was the...
Beautiful. Anyway, that was Billiard. He has a thing. What a summary! World of Warcraft doing as good as you would expect, obviously. It's funny. Anyway, this was Quizzer Citizen. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.